What's going on, everybody? Fellow humans and resellers, it is I, James, and part of Courtney. Baby girl. ReadoptionAgency.com, 21 years selling on eBay. And today is Friday. That means week update. I got a hair bothering there. Week update. Got the week update. We're going to talk about how yesterday's numbers. Got one lot that's one of my favorite types of lots to sell. And the typical style items I sell. Simple money-making items that anyone can find. Let's fire up the shipping stations. And we're going to get into numbers. Numbers. So, yesterday, I got to say, other than one day, this has been the first full week that I am extremely happy with. The week prior had like two off days. This week only one, so that is very pleasant to see. That day was probably 200 shorter than it should have been, which is reminiscent of what I've been fighting for the last 2 years. And what's odd is, if you've been keeping up with Josh also, his numbers dropped back down again drastically. After turning off the international and them just popping up, they've dropped back down again. I have no clue and no idea in that drastic of a drop, but it could have something to do with, I've said it a million times, volume saved me over the past 2 years of dealing with the issues. So maybe the fact that he's got 13,000. Also, another thing I made a comment about is when all those happened, it seemed like the higher dollar items just kind of vanished. And he may have a lot more higher dollar items compared to his lower dollar items. So maybe he's seeing the same thing. It's just more drastic because of the items he sells. If you kind of follow those two theories that I've created over the past 2 years of dealing with this daily. So I'm not sure. That's the after seeing this video, that's the closest thing I can wrap my head around is volume saved me. And he's got, what, a third to a fourth less, compared to me, third to a fourth of what I have. And if he has more higher dollar than lower dollar. And I felt my higher dollar just kind of vanished on eBay somehow, some way. Because of the days when it's rolling, as you've seen the past week, I get the low and a lot of the high. So yesterday ended $1,046. So another day over 1,000 in the week. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So right back where I've been saying the store should be. So I'm very happy with that. We're going to check the traffic and see what the organics came to yesterday. And perfect. 73 items, 25 organic, 48 promoted. Picture, perfect. I mean, I'd like to have a few more promoted, but I'm not complaining. So, there she goes. Going to lay in her bed. So, very nice. This morning, I've got 13 items sold, only 1 organic. So, here we go with that organic situation again. 12 promoted, 1 organic. We're at 9:50 a.m. So, getting ready to hit 10. I like to be at 150 to 250. Things overnight look like I had at least 1 per hour, except for 1 hour. But still pretty low. 139.54 right now. So not quite at the low end. But the way the days have been, I'm not concerned. So let's see how the week went. and we'll get into like the top 5. The top 5 items sold this week. So we are there to there. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Very happy. Nice to see. Total amount of sales for this past week, $7,801. Up 16%. Yay. My cost is where I like to be. I like to be 22 to 25. It's at 24%. 1905.93 is my selling cost. Net sales, not counting the shipping because I ship outside of eBay, $5,429.28. So, biggity bam. Up 18%. Number of items sold, 521. Up 10.4%. That feels like it's gonna get me back to that 2,000 item a month that I should be at. So that's nice to see. Average sale per item, I was trying to get it back up to $15 plus. We're at $14.97, up 5%. So I'm happy with that. Total buyers, 434. So. All right. Top 5 items with one new item breaking in to the top 5. That's because of one item. But number 5. Ooh. We got what, 1, maybe 2 that dropped out. So number 5 on the list for the week, most items sold, is vinyl records. Vinyl records sold $305 worth of vinyl records, up 54%. Number 3, because of my personal Neo Geo system, video games, $335, up 100%. Number 3, top 3 is the same usual suspects. Number 3 is cassette tapes, $955, up 16%. Music CDs, $1,211, up 13%. And of course, hats, number 1, $1,652, up 11.8%. So 12% on that. So very happy to finally have almost a full week of bliss. So very happy about that. Very happy to see. So we're going to get over to YouTube real quick then and see if we got some questions and comments to go over. I'll try to skip some of the ones about the video I put up last night. I do appreciate all the words, though. I do read them. So, but I'll try to stick with ones that are more store related this morning. Let's see. The store you looked, I watched that video. He has a lot of required item specifics not filled out. I left him a message telling him not to just end stuff until he tries something else. My store is bogged down at the moment with stuff that will never sell. I'm going through every box I have to evaluate whether it was a good pickup or not. Yeah. And I guess what I can say is, I think that's kind of the way my channel is different from these other YouTubers, because they're doing things, I don't want to say the right way, but they're doing things the common way, I guess you could say. You know, which is not a bad thing. That's probably the best way. You know, looking at sell-through rates and picking up and being picky, where I just bought by the lot and I saw a lot of just common everyday things that normal people wouldn't pick up and sell. And I think that's what kind of makes my channel a little bit different and probably not as popular and probably won't ever be as popular because I'm not selling the hype or, you know, the big names that, not necessarily the great sell-through rates and stuff like that. I mean, they're sprinkled in here and there, yes. But overall, so I'm not sure what kind of stuff you have. And like I said, even with Mr. Bislett, that stuff to me looks like, man, how is that stuff not moving, right? To me, that stuff is like gold. Like if I came across that dirt cheap, I'd buy it all, you know? So I don't know. It's weird to me. So I'm not sure what kind of items you're selling. So eBay needs to get rid of that quick view feature for stores. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't have my account under a store, so I don't have the quick view option. My viewers are able to see the main listing, including offers. Sounds like you could use a trip to the Smoky Mountains. I could just use a nice road trip and not have to think about nothing is what I could use. Oh, I swear it's one of the biggest pet peeves to get a negative or neutral feedback and the customer doesn't even bother to reach out beforehand. If someone is unhappy with the purchase, why wouldn't they reach out to get a refund? From dealing with a lot of people over the last 21 years, there's just a lot of people who are miserable. And I don't say that in like poking fun or you know, there's just a lot of unhappy people in society. And maybe they're justified, you know, maybe what they've dealt with is totally different than what I've dealt with or what you've dealt with. Not saying it's healthy. Not saying that they need to get over it or find a way around it or something. But there are a lot of unhappy people in the world. And they'll just be like, whatever. And that's just, you just have to accept that, you know. And what I do on the feedback is, I saw somebody made a comment yesterday that they kind of tried to discourage somebody from making a future negative. I don't go that route. I go with showing the next person who is actually looking at the feedback that I'm doing whatever I need to do to help the situation. And that's all I can do. You know, I'll put, please reach out if there's a problem. I will reach out to this buyer to fix the situation. And I will put in there that I have free returns. If there's any problems, it's an easy fix. So I kind of put that play in there to kind of show, instead of like attacking the person or saying something, you know, two negatives don't make a positive, right? So trying to make sure that the next person who looks at it, because there are people out there, and I get them, I haven't had one in a while, but who will look at my feedback, 99.9%, and go, I see you got 9 negatives in a year. Blah, blah, blah. How do I know you're going to be blah? How am I know I should buy from you? I'm like, and I respond back, did you miss the 250,000 plus positives? You said 9 negatives. I'm saying 250,000 positives. So there, some people just look at things in a totally different manner than most do. So you just got to kind of understand that everybody's different and kind of just work your way around it without discouraging normal people from buying. I mean, me personally, I don't even look at people's feedbacks. Everything's guaranteed pretty much nowadays anyway. If I want it, pictures look fine, I will buy it. So if I have to fight it, I will just, that's usually just a few clicks. So yeah, I don't trip over them anymore. It's kind of pointless too, because they're always going to be there in one form or another. It's how you handle it. And with free returns, once a customer opens a return, see, that's where when somebody does email me about a problem, the first thing I say is, sorry for the issue. Even if no matter what, I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry they're unhappy. For whatever reason, doesn't matter. I'm sorry you're unhappy. All you need to do is open a free return on eBay to start the refund process. Once that return is open, if you're doing free returns, no matter what they leave on the feedback, it's vanished. So as long as you take care of the customer, you don't have to worry about the negative. So my goal when somebody is having a problem is to entice them to open that free return. And if it's someone who gives me trouble, I will pay to not have a negative. I will say, just open the return. You don't have to return it, and I will go ahead and refund you. And then even though they open the return, their feedback doesn't matter from that point on. And if it's only like a $3 cassette or something, I'll refund them and go about it. And then people like that who usually push, I'll just put them in my block section because I'm not going to deal with that again. Because there are scammers out there, and you just got to kind of call their bluff. I recently had, I don't know if I talked about this or not. I recently had a person who bought 4 8-tracks from me and said they all split when he tried to play them. And what I did to try to offset that, because that doesn't happen, I go, that's odd. I've been selling on eBay for 21 years, been selling music since 1993, and I have never, ever seen that or heard about that happening. I'm thinking it must be your player. You might want to have your player checked out. But I'm sorry it happened. Go ahead and open a free return on eBay to start the refund process, blah, blah, blah. They vanished. Haven't heard from them, and it's been 5 days now. So they were just trying to get a quick refund. And a lot of the scammers who just do stuff like that are just trying to get a quick refund. They're not going to put in any effort into it, like repackaging. I'm not saying they're not out there. The higher dollar ones will do that. They'll repackage something back else in the box and return it. And then you can still fight that on eBay. I've had to do that a couple of times. And the one time it didn't go in my favor. I'm like, well, that don't make sense. Why didn't, and I called and figured it out. What happened was when you fill out the form to say item was not returned in condition I've mailed it in, at the time, I don't know if it's changed since then, you got to kind of scroll down to the bottom of the page because it's kind of hidden. You have to add pictures. So you got to add all these pictures in of what you received back and then submit it. And you fill it out and submit it. Then what happened after that is eBay sent me a form to sign, basically stating that I'm not trying to fraud anybody and that this is what happened, basically. And then I'm covered. So it's a pain in the butt, but you can be covered from it. But yeah, I always try to do all those little tips might help you, help keep you away from some of the people who are trying to fraud and stuff like that. No matter what, I always say sorry. So a clerk's reference, yeah, across the bottom of that last video yesterday. I'm not even supposed to be here today. That person is just on eBay to lead negatives. They'll eventually close that account. The older person, I think from what I'm looking at, it's going to be an older person who bought an 8-track, wanted a CD, but every negative he left almost was getting something else that he thought he wasn't ordering. So he ordered Laserdisc thinking they were DVDs, and maybe it's someone who can't read. My dad couldn't read, right? Maybe it's just someone who's got bad eyesight and won't wear glasses. Maybe it's just someone who has an attention or disorder who's not really paying attention. So that's why I don't really get upset about anything about that kind of stuff anymore. I'll play around on the video and go, oh, this person's crazy, blah, blah. But in the end, it don't bother me because, like I said, everybody's different. Every person's walked through life differently, have had different experiences. Everybody reacts to things differently, no matter what they are. So that's just once you kind of accept that, it's very easy to just let things roll off your back because you're doing you, and That's all that matters, right? So, I feel like banging my head against the wall trying to get people to understand the problem with the best offer. If they would just take a minute and go to any eBay storefront, desktop or laptop. And as I said the other day, feel free to share my video that kind of shows it. So it's kind of a hard thing to describe if the person don't know what you're talking about. I'm not very good at describing things very easily. So I find it very difficult to overlook an unjust situation with a customer, whether it's bad feedback, a bad return, or comment. I know that everyone recommends forgetting and chalking it up to the cost of doing business, but anything that is unjust in life is difficult to just forget, but it is worth it to try. Hope you have better luck with customers. And yeah, Diane, just everything I just said, kind of look at life that way. When you look at life that way, it makes everything across the board easier. Just like yesterday's video going on about people, the separation of people, how it's so easy for people to fall for that kind of stuff. If you look at every individual who walks this planet as a totally different human being, not the same as anybody else, because they've walked different footsteps than everybody else, it's very easy to see a bigger picture. And I was going to say something else. Cost of doing business. Yes. If you had a storefront, you're going to have people who come in and steal from you, right? You're going to have loss. So don't feel bad or get upset if something gets lost in the mail. I have stuff lost in the mail almost daily. Figure that one out. In 2023, I still have items lost in the mail. I wouldn't say daily, but it feels like daily, where the tracking number just vanishes. Sometimes it don't even seem like it gets scanned at my place, or you'll get to Atlanta and just vanish and be 2 weeks and it's just gone. So you gotta, with any business, there's loss. If you want to be an entrepreneur and you're going to run a business, you have to understand that there is loss monetarily one way or another in every business. And that's just literally a fact of running business. And there's no point getting upset about it because it's always happened, it is happening, and it always will happen. So getting upset about it is just 100% pointless. You just got to account for it. When you expect something, it's not as devastating. It's not as, emotionally charged. You can just roll with it. Great video with lots of great tips. The people are still watching my create 200 items in a day, so appreciate that. And if you haven't seen that video, the link is all in the bottom of all my videos. How to create 200 listings in a day. I keep that one front and center for you guys. Okay, I did some research on this, and I'm still not worried about this here. And here's why. Speaking of the pop-up and it not having best offer, if you find your ad in search, it just brings up the whole ad. My feeling is your customers will know you or whether or not you are prone to best offers. Well, here's where I'm going to argue with you. Let me see if I can find the statistic somewhere. Here's one, the last 30 days. Repeat buyers, 52. Up 8.3%, but 52 repeat buyers. One-time buyers, 1,400. There's where I'm arguing with you. Your customers, your repeat customers are low compared to all the new customers who find you. And they're not always just finding you on eBay. When I say redoptionagency.com in this video, and if somebody types that in, they're going to see exactly the wrong thing. So it depends on how you promote your store. That's going to determine how people see your items, whether they search on eBay or they go straight to your eBay store. And most everybody is not a normal customer. They're new customers. So that's where I have to, like, from outside view coming in, I get about 700 customers a day. Now, whether that's coming from like Google from an item to one of my items, or from somehow I'm promoting it out there and they're coming to readoptionagency.com, I don't know. It doesn't show that difference, but it happens. So, all right, let's get into some stuff and get this stuff shipped out. All right. My phone's quieted down, isn't it? Or have I just not been paying attention? All right. First up, we've got a lot. Are you ready for a hat lot? Yeah. Let me pull this out here. So we've got 10 hats. And he emailed me and said he'd give me $5 a piece for 10 of them. And I go, yeah, go ahead. Why not? So 10 hats. There's one $10 hat in here. So $55. Going to Minnesota Beach, North Carolina. And if you're new to my videos, the prices I give do not include the shipping I charge. Let me try to do this in order, make sure I get them all right. So we got a Mickey Mouse, vintage Mickey. And I think these are all youth and toddler hats. So that's another reason why I'm like, no big deal. 10 hats, $5. The toddler hats are usually a little bit slower anyway. We got a Mickey Euro Disney hat. We've got another Mickey plaid. I love this color of plaid. The green and burgundy. I love that. We've got Lion King and a half. I guess that's Broadway show, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe that is the movie. Yeah, that's the movie, I guess. Yeah, Lion King and a half wouldn't have made Broadway. Lion King makes Broadway. The one that he gave me $10 for, because I had it priced a little bit higher, is original Anco toddler youth Toy Story hat. So, love that. I remember when that movie came out, I actually bought a Toy Story hat. Did you just hear that whine? Or am I hearing things again? But anyway, and I bought a Toy Story hat at Universal Studios the first time I went there. So we got a Toy Story hat, which I probably still got that somewhere around here. ESPN hockey. This is an adult hat, though. And we've got a Disney 2016. We've got Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Play It. That's an adult hat, too. And a little Winnie the Pooh. And a Frozen. So, 10 hats, $55. And let me go grab a bigger box for these puppies. I heard Marcus made a comment that he was watching my video and my phone kept going off. I kind of just don't even notice it really most of the time when I'm talking. I'm like, that's the way I like it. I like it when it's just always chaching and Do I have the most cha-chingy videos on YouTube? Ooh, that could be like a legacy there. The most cha-ching video on YouTube. Watch my video and you'll hear more cha-chings than you will anywhere else. I don't know if that's true, but I wonder if it could be true. I am the true Chaching King. I am the true rock star flipper. I'm taking everybody's title, for I am here for the win. I'm taking everybody's self-given title. So I need you all to bestow on me the titles of the other YouTubers that I shall defeat and eat. Because I'm a carnivore. Ew, that's nasty. You're going to eat humans? If I had to eat a human to survive, damn straight I'm going to eat a human. Meat is meat. Oh. What was that movie? Or the airplane, the soccer team, I think? K2, was that? Or was that the movie? Oh. Hey, when you're in a survival situation, man, your mind will do anything to survive. All right. Biggity bam. Make sure doing this by age. Okay, there we go. Next up, we've got St. Louis Browns Fan Club book. Sold for $10.50. Headed to Albertson, New York. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we didn't play the algorithm game. I'm sorry. Let's do that real quick because I know I failed yesterday. Because that video just didn't do really anything. I guess it wasn't a good title and good thumbnail. See, so it only got 1.6. 1.6 thousand views, 1 new subscriber. So that kind of failed. But the first 3 days, you know, the whole second goal of getting to 3,000 a month on YouTube is average $100 a day. So the first 3 days, it was at $285. So that was pretty good for a start. And I expect, you know, a slump after, because it always happens. And you're not going to hit a home run every time with your thumbnails and your wordings. Like, I have no idea what I'm going to do on this video right now. Have no clue. So I always kind of just make it up at the spur of the moment and hope for the best, right? So is there, let me back out of this. Let's see, maybe we can do like a week update on YouTube also. Last 7 days. There we go. All right. So the last 7 days on YouTube. Almost 30,000 views. And this is all because of you guys. So this is, I hope you guys feel a part of this because this is all you. Almost 6,000 watch hours. This week, 133 new subscribers. And an estimated revenue of $400. So thank you guys. So that's average 16 a month. I hit 15 last month, so it would still be up. So thank you guys. Much love. So yeah, I like that. We'll do a week update on the YouTube also. So The number of views is, I guess, in line with the previous 7. So I guess we're even. It's just got to check. It says about the same as the previous 7 days. The 5.8 watch hours is 56% more than the 7 previous days. So over 50% up on the watch hours. The subscribers at 133 is up 23% more than the previous week. And revenue, it doesn't give the same. So it's about the same, I think. So since I did 1,500 last month, that's still in line, a little bit up. So, yes. Let's see. The weekend, the best video was the time to hear the truth about a certain eBay seller on YouTube. So if you saw that one, it came in at #1 for the week. So it kind of worked for what it's being planned for. So 4,722 views in the week. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Chaching, chaching. Chaching, chaching. Next up, we've got a lot of 7 baby Einstein DVDs. And what these were out of was like a box set I had found at the bins. But like some of the discs were missing in the box set. So I just pulled the discs that were there out. And they sold for $12.60. Headed to Jupiter, Florida. So just doing something like that at the bins can make you some money. I will show you things that you won't see on any other YouTube channel. Oh, you probably will see that, but yeah. Maybe. I'm just trying to sell myself here a little bit. There we go. All right, 4.8, got that. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. So this item I never even got an offer on. But since I made my money back already from the hoarder garage, if you will, I went ahead and took an offer because it was the first time anybody offered anything. So I'm like, had it up for 25. They offered 12. I'm like, take it. That Dragon Ball Z statue. It does have a couple of the lightning bolts missing, so there's only a couple with it. So 12 bucks. Headed to Burlington, New Jersey. Let's see if you'll fit in this hat box or not. So just to get it going. Perfection. You might have a hard time getting it out. It's so perfect. Boom. The box already has wrinkles in it anyway, so if that box gets dented, it's probably going to look about the same. Okay. Appleton Estate Jamaica Rum hat. Sold for $6, headed to Ashburn, Georgia. Ashburn, Georgia. I remember when my dad was a truck driver. And the thing I remember about Georgia the most was how the vines, like, encase everything on the side of the highways. Like, take over all the trees and stuff. I always thought that was so cool looking as a kid, seeing that. So every time we went through Georgia, I loved it. Not as much as going through the hills of Tennessee, but I still loved it. I think that's what I love the most and miss the most about, like, Tennessee, where when you're on the highways and the back roads and you see like signs painted on side of barns and the roofs of barns and stuff like that. It was so prevalent, like in the late 70s, early 80s. It was just everywhere. And it was always so cool to see as a kid. For some reason, that kind of signage always just stuck out to me. And I still love seeing it today when you see the very faded ones that are still out there. So, Delirium Karma Advanced Promo CD. Sold for $12.60, headed to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hubby, hubby, home. Let me go ahead and just take that out and put it in the tray. And put that over the top of it. So. That's one thing I was wondering after thinking a lot yesterday and just kind of trying. Yesterday I just used, since I just felt like I was stuck, so I used yesterday as just like a total breakdown day. I just let everything out. Hold on, I need to back up. Where was I going with this? I had a point I was going to. Oh, yeah. Like, I love just traveling and traveling aimlessly and exploring. But I always had that in the back of my head of, can't wait to get home, right? Whether it's your puppies, your family. But as you get older, and if you start, you know, losing your family, and then she's going to be my last dog for the foreseeable future. The only time in my life I've never not had a dog, it's never happened. Would I enjoy just that aimless traveling more because I don't feel like I have a home? You know, there's nothing to say, I can't wait to get home, because there's nothing there. You know what I mean? So like if me and Jan just took them traveling, the boys, I know they can take care of themselves and stuff. So they're doing great in life. So do you look at it as, you know, a little bit more freeing? Like you don't feel you have to, I can't wait to get home. And then, I mean, sometimes we'd leave a day early at places we went to just to get back home. So not having that home as a whole that you're used to come back to. Wonder if that just free traveling is easier, more fun, more freeing. I don't know. It's something to look forward to, I guess, you know. Let's try and see. Just thought. Or do you, as a human, do you feel like you always have to have a home? That's where I always felt like, as a human, the human nature, you feel like it's in your DNA, you have to have a home, right? But you see a lot of people who live out of vans and stuff nowadays. Some, do they have a longing for a settlement, per se? You know, I wonder. I guess I'll find out, won't I? I just may. I might, Rabbit. I might. Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits on CD. Sold for $5.60. Headed to Jacksonville, Illinois. It's a thought. You know, after just all that contemplating I was doing yesterday, and then turning on the video just to just in case it might help anybody else who may be going through it, that kind of thing, in the future or whenever. It's just kind of like accepting things will be different, right? And how will that impact me and my life? So, Tweety Bird hat sold for $7. Headed to Hempstead, Maryland. So, don't know. So I'm just trying to pull the different things to the top of the heat, top of my mind, right? That may turn out to be a positive. But yeah, I think I'm taking like a week. Then it's just a staycation. Like, I'll do the shipping videos, I'll ship, but I'm in no hurry. If this video goes an hour and a half, I don't care. No expectations. If I list 5 items, I list 5 items. If I list nothing, I list nothing. I'm just going to take a week just to purge my mind of everything. Sorrow, expectations, you know. And just kind of try to just, I don't know, the way I see it in my head, just kind of fall. Kind of just fall and float. And then just kind of see where I go. I don't know. Probably go back to what I know. Same old every day. Because that's what you know. But I got to find a way to do it a little bit differently. To change it up somehow. Mentally, physically, whatever the case may be, right? 9 West women's high heels. So for $13, headed to Chicago Park, California. I think what I'm just... It's almost like I don't know if you have done this before. You drive the same highway. Day after day after day. Month after month, year after year. Okay. Next time you do, pay attention to yourself. Do you always see that same building? Do you always see that same billboard? Do you always see that same exit? Do you always see that same sign? Chances are you do. You always kind of seem to look at the same thing when you're not thinking about it. Consciously, you're just looking at the same areas. Try driving that road and making yourself look in different spots. And you will notice that you've drove that road a million times before, but you're seeing things you never saw before now. I love making myself do that. And when you do it, with me, I always see like the greens are greener, if that makes sense. The blue sky seems bluer. When you force yourself outside of your normal consciousness, I guess, or comfort consciousness, and just make yourself look at something differently. It like gives it, for me, it gives it like all bright new colors. It's odd, I guess. That's what I need to try to do with this. All right, right, next up we've got Tonka Playtime Tunes 2 CD set. You know you're getting old when you make noises when you move. That needs resurfaced. That needs resurfaced. Headed to England. Sold for, wow, $19. Tonka Playtime. Tonka. I'm a Tonka teddy bear. $18.70. I'm a Tonka teddy bear. Nope, change the printer, James. Let me, I'm gonna go to my YouTube page to see if any videos pop up of a topic to talk about. I rarely have resellers videos pop up for some reason. It's all this other stuff that I've never even... It's almost like since I talk about hiking, now there's a hiking video there that I've never seen before. Traveling with Twister. There's shed flips. Passing these up at yard sales is a big mistake. And she's holding, looks like softball bats. That's one thing I don't know about, because don't some of the older, at least with baseball bats, some of the older ones are not worth as much if they're not out of date, but out of code or something. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about them. So maybe I need to watch that video. Great long weekend sales. See, I'll do this, and then I'll go up top and I'll type in like eBay. I'll try to get some wording for today's video. Dude, homeschooling picker is just killing it. 16 hours, 38,000 views. How kick-ass is that? Just blowing up. Blowing up. I should say blown up, period. I am closing my eBay account. I will never sell on eBay again. Beware of the scam. Do people who say that really mean it? I don't know. Back from Burnout is coming to the USA. Australia to the USA. Gorgeous thrift finds from Vintage Bombshell. I've watched Vintage Bombshell. I haven't watched any videos in quite a while, but I used to always watch her videos because she would always get all the cool vintage looking stuff, and didn't she may still have or does or did or does a lot of like antique mall type of thing. I think she has a spot or something if I remember correctly. Vintage Bombshell. Secrets to getting the most out of eBay. 800 plus a day. Hey, I can make that thumbnail. How about 900 plus a day? How about 1,000 a day on simple items? Can I make my thumbnail? I'm quitting eBay. I'm done. Just to get clicks? No. I won't go that far. Even though I just talked about that video having that title. I don't think I'll go that far. I don't want to totally 100% lie or deceive. 100% deceive. Oh, we got some airwalks headed to Canatulo, Texas. Sold for $10. And we had 2 pairs of shoes this go around. I got so many shoes in storage and it ain't even funny. I need to get that stuff listed. But not this week, unless I want to. No expectations. Just do whatever I'm feeling. Just float through the day. Mental break. Mental break. All right, this next song could bring up PTSD in people. Ace of Base. All that she wants is another baby. No! Stop taking my money! Go away, you whore! Sold for $4, headed to Henderson, Nevada. You just want the government checks and the child support. Go away! Go get a job, you loser! I don't understand how people do it. How can people not want to? But, of course, everybody's different. Obviously, I've always said that. But even me coming from nothing, I never wanted to be like the people around me and just sit around and do nothing and just collect government food and checks. I never wanted to be that. So I have a hard time understanding how people don't have drive to do something. Toy Matinee, self-titled. Sold for $3.50, headed to Butler, New Jersey. Like, I can't picture retirement. I saw a thing the other day, a headline that said, Gen X is not prepared for retirement. And my first thought was, Gen X don't retire. Gen X probably never thought about retirement. Gen X tried to find what they love to do so they can do it forever. That was like the first thought that popped in my head. Gen X does what it takes to survive, period. May not be the smartest way to do it, but it's the way to do it. It's the way it's done. I don't know. Thinking of topics that pop into my head right now. Next up, we've got Celine Dion. If You Ask Me To. Well, Celine, I know you have a lot of money. Can you give me some? You lie! You lie! You said if I asked you to. Sold for $4. Headed to Camden, Delaware. Even if I had $1 million, $2 million, I'd still be doing this. I might be doing it in a different form. Like, I'd have me a nice warehouse. I'd have me an employee. I would travel more to find stuff. Probably have a couple employees, actually. Let them run it all. Okay. Led Zeppelin Tape 2 of the BBC Sessions. What is going on? Headed to Newark, New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey. Sold for $7. Boom, 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 boom. Beck's Ball Camp. Sold for $10.50. Headed to Westminster, South Carolina. Just remember, like, my mind's going through small roads throughout Tennessee. just remember finding all these cool, like, little resale shops, you know, and stuff. I remember finding, like, this cool little hidden music store one time. This was a very long time ago. This is way before the business. This is probably in 97-ish, probably, somewhere in there. So I love exploring. Like if I could make my YouTube channel just exploring America and make a living off of it, I would do that. Of course, I'd be thrifting and stuff along the way for stuff to resell. So that's a thought, you know? Does this kind of morph? I mean, I hope to do more traveling to flea markets and yard sales and then even longer travels, you know, and stuff to shops and that. So hopefully I'll be able to get to videos like that also on top of these. All right, next up is one of my favorite kind of things to sell because nobody else will do it or had thought of doing it before me, or maybe they did and I just don't know about it. Whatever the case may be. Your normal reseller on YouTube is not doing this. And we got, are you ready for a blank hat lot? White, green, 2, purple, 3, green, 4, blue, 5, beige, 6. 6 hats headed to San Juan Bautista, I guess, California. 6 plain blank hats that are lighter than a normal hat that you can find 1 million of at the bins. $47 today. It created $47 for my pocketbook. This cost me maybe $1.25 at the bins. There's could be a thumbnail. $1.25 into $47. Maybe I'll go with that for my thumbnail today. And I'm glad I brought an extra one of my little bit bigger boxes. That probably doesn't get the kind of views, but maybe I'll play off of that somehow. Oh, I got a cassette here too. I gotta get. I got pulled. All right. Where are we at? 103. 103. So we're just about perfect anyway. Just about perfect. Ten, 8, 4. And with my hats, I do like full shipping for the first and $1 for each additional. So I pay $9.99 for the shipping, and it's costing me $11.97 because it's going to California. But normally it's pretty much in line. Like if it went to Michigan, it would cost me far less. So that shipping rule kind of plays perfect. Gives your customer a good deal, and it's not like, you know, robbing them of money via shipping, you know. Dun, dun, dun. And lastly, we've got Elvis Costello on cassette. Oh, it's headed out to Imperial, Missouri. Sold for $6.30. I want to try to find a way to get more St. Louis people to watch my videos. That's what I'm kind of thinking, maybe like to grow the channel, maybe try to start local, right? Get more locals watching and then let it manifest into something bigger. Because maybe you can find locals who want to support their own type of thing with the video, watching the videos. Anyway, create the scan forms. So that was only, what, one international? That was a bummer. Overnight, it was a little slow. I had sales almost every hour, but there were only like one sale in each hour. So it wasn't like multiples like the night before. So that's, I think, why it was a little bit lower. We'll see where we're at now, but so 10 international are going out since yesterday morning. So even though there was only one overnight, there was at least 9 yesterday during that good day. So that was good to see. Print that. All eligible. Print that. So we've got 47, 57, 67, 74 items going out today. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So let's see where we're at. So we were at 152. Or maybe that's where we're at now. No, right now we're at 172. So, and I got another offer that just came through. Ooh, I do got a True Gather that came in too. Take that offer. What's this True Gather? Michelle Branch Spirit Room CD. Sold for $4. And that's going to be probably unsold, unless I had more than one. Oh, I'll get this out. Let me see if there's any recent questions or anything to end this on. Nope, not really. All right. Again, as always, thank you guys. Thank you everyone for the likes, subscribes, comments, support, and all that good stuff. Totally appreciated. And it is the weekend. I'm gonna I'd like to do some yard sales tomorrow. I think I'm in a yard sale mood, where I wasn't last week. I did that Friday, and then Saturday I just didn't make myself go anywhere. But I think I'm feeling in a yard sale mood, so we'll see what I can find tomorrow. All right. Well, thanks everybody, and I will see you all in the next video later.